And welcome to episode 3 of Grip the Grain. I am your host, Big Kunta.
And I'm Headhunter James.
Headhunter James, and we are also gathered here today with our brother, Adrian, the bearded beekeeper. Adrian and I go back middle school, high school, and then 10 years of life happened, and, you know, shit happens, right? Yeah. So you kind of like, I don't know, you know, you catch up, and then Facebook is like one of those things where everybody just feels like we see each other every fucking day. So it's like, I don't have to see you like in person. Right. I'd rather not see you in person. Like, it's like, just text me, don't call me.
Speaking of which, you might have noticed you're seeing us in person. This is our first video. First video.
And so we wanted to do like a special guest where we kind of highlight some of the, really unique and different things that people do within our communities and whatnot. And Adrian here, he's got his own company. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about Bearded Beekeeper, pollination, very important thing that people don't really know about, right? Yeah. So let's educate some folks, man. Let's talk about it.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm Adrian Perez. I'm the Bearded Beekeeper. I'm stationed out of Miramar, Florida. And I do bee removal, specifically in the live platform, meaning we remove bees from structures alive and relocate them. I'm actually a beekeeper, so these bees end up going to, one of my yards where we make sure the bees are, from the removal stage in a, new box. They're being grown right. They're healthy. They're producing well, the queen's laying properly. There's all sorts of things that go into what's happening inside of that colony.
I had always assumed that when bees were removed, they were, removed.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you call somebody to remove a colony of bees, if they're not like a legitimate beekeeper, the chances are that they are probably going to eliminate them, which happens. Occasionally you can't save all of them.
These are different from wasp nests.
Yes, absolutely. These are much larger.
Yeah, we're not talking about
These are useful.
Yes, they're very important. Even though wasps do pollinate on a small scale, they're predatory insects. Their main food source is other insects, whereas bees need to go out to collect pollen.
The occasional human.
Oh yeah,
right. That's allergic to.
There you go.
Well, fuck it. I'm allergic to all of
them. They do hurt.
This guy's allergic to grass.
Oh, boy.
Literally everything outside.
Well, when we bring you out, we'll have to put 2 suits on you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your suit gets a suit.
Yeah.
It's great. So, pollination, the safety, the safe extraction of the bees. Now, like, I've seen... What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Bearded Beekeeper.
Okay, so you can check out his page, and there's all kinds of like really cool photos. You'll see, there was just one that was like inside of a wall.
Yeah. Well, I actually did one that was I think the one you're maybe talking about is in the fence. Okay, and it was like 4.5 feet by 2.5 feet.
Right.
Real big. We removed the whole section of fence paneling.
It's so crazy because like.
It's fucking wild.
It's just there the whole time, like and it's massive. Like some of these, like the honeycombs, right? Like they. Mm-hmm. So explain like what they're doing with that.
So when bees are out collecting resources, they are bringing back this nectar and they're bringing back this pollen. When they consume some of these resources, they produce wax. They need to produce wax in order to make that comb, or we call it those wax panels. So as they're building these wax panels, they build out what you would essentially call them frames inside of a beehive.
Right.
They build them out to these perfectly shaped hexagons that are specifically made to house from egg to birthing a bee. Wow. It's very, very specific sizing. It's kind of cool.
Almost like it's on purpose.
Almost like it's on purpose. Yeah, definitely. So we basically set up those colonies so they're in proper production for it. And when they're building those wax panels, they're setting that all up so they can store honey, where they can store pollen, and where the queen is going to lay, and that brood, those young bees are going to be made as well. So, but yeah, that's what you see when you're looking at all those panels and you see all those combs hanging out with the bees all over them. Those are just bees protecting the stuff that they make, man.
So like when I see like people take those combs and they kind of like brush off
Bees
the
with
honey and the that too, or like they're just extracting the honey.
Yeah.
Is that like hurting them? Is that taken away from their sources or?
So yeah, there's proper ways to do things when it comes to removing resources from a colony of bees. You need to do that as a beekeeper. You need to remove resources from the colony. You always need to provide room for growth and an opportunity to work for the colony, or they're not going to perform the way you want them to.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is when you're setting them up and they have all of their, their whole section where the queen's laying, you would go ahead and normally we would separate with what we call a queen excluder on the top of that box. And we put those honey supers on top of them. And those frames in there are where the extra honey or extra resources would be stored.
Okay.
And that's where we pool as beekeepers, where we get that excess honey from. So what you would do is from those 10, you could harvest anywhere from, 5 to 8 of them, leaving behind a couple of them.
Wow.
And you remove those and you put in new frames and let them work off of those as well. So you go ahead and you allow them to have resources left over from what they just made, and they still have space to work and keep making more comb or more honey, having more space for the queen to lay downstairs if you need to remove.
So like things. That's their world. That's their life. That's like
And this doesn't like piss them off. They're not like, who the fuck just stole my entire frame? I just finished that.
we've just literally been doing this our entire lives, and this
Now we have
asshole
to
just
do it
took
again.
everything.
Yeah. It's exactly how it feels sometimes, and they let you know, man.
So how many times do you get stung every time? I imagine. Right?
No, not every time. I mean, I am a little bit, more careless than most beekeepers. I'll do a bee removal without a veil or, gloves. And,
I see that shit. I'm like that wouldn't be me.
So
that would not.
They are very, very.
Because I feel like once one bee stings you and your body reacts, it's like a dog can sense to your fear or whatever. Like if you freak out,
bee stings me and happens to get me in the right spot.
well, I have
fucking dead.
literally all the surface area for fucking a whole swarm of bees. To attack. But
So you're gonna be Nick Cage in the next Wicker Man?
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, like all I can think about is literally the movie that terrified me my entire life. Candyman. It's Candyman.
Oh yeah, man.
It's like
I remember that as a kid.
like.
I rewatched it recently. It still holds up.
Oh, it holds up really well.
Yeah.
It holds up really well. And the guy's still like, what's the guy's name? Main actor.
Tony Scott, I think.
Who's actually in the remake.
Yeah.
With Jordan Peele.
Oh man.
Shout outs to Jordan Peele. Love that guy. It's crazy because I'm still terrified of. Like I mean maybe because he's like a black.
Whatever. Like
I don't know. Like it's more terrifying to me a little bit. I don't know, but it's honestly.
Yeah, but like as long as you keep his name out of your fucking mouth, you're fine.
I was really expecting to see like keep my fucking name out your mouth.
I mean,
keep my name out your mouth.
Yeah, but like
no, there was never. But it was more like just I think the voodoo, the like Louisiana, New Orleans style. That was definitely just like rainy
talk
nights,
shit, get hung on a meat hook. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but
yeah, I totally derailed everything you were saying.
Oh, it doesn't matter, man. Right. It happens.
But yeah, that's literally it happens a lot. Like this is literally us. Like this, we will.
I'm cool with it, man. I'm here for a good time.
Absolutely, no, and like thanks again. Really, really appreciate it. What would you say would be the most important like factor in like beekeeping? What you do? James and I were talking in the car, and it's kind of like we were like, it's almost like a person is. It takes a certain kind of person to do that job, right?
Yeah, I would definitely.
And I was explaining to him, I was like, Adrian's always been like this really nice guy. Like you know, when we were in middle school together, every day isn't worth smiling over, especially when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
But you were always smiling, dude.
I was always.
You
happy,
were always
man.
like just happy, so it didn't matter what kind of day I was having. Like.
I feel like you probably have to be at least somewhat of a nice person with a sunny disposition to decide that you want to be a beekeeper.
Man, I'm always
almost
half
guaranteed.
Man, almost always.
Yeah. But he's always like you've always been that guy where, like, we weren't bros to the point where we like hung out at each other's houses and stuff.
Yeah.
We were just kind of like we had some classes together,
Yeah.
and if we were in line next to each other in lunch or whatever, we sat next to each other, whatever, and it was about as far as it went, you know. But
Yeah.
always have like this great spirit about you, and I feel like animals. I grew up in the hood where
Technically
there
not
is
animals, they're
no
insects.
animals, of course. But what I'm saying is, I grew up not around too many animals, like outside of like a junkyard dog or.
Fuck you, you are an animal. You are the
nicest dog, he was
doing
nice.
it every day.
We called him Junkyard, and he was
Going
literally
hard.
the nicest like dog. I think
All dogs
when you're a
are
kid, they look bigger. When you're a kid, they like animals and everything seem much larger. He could have just been like a hound.
I mean,
or
to
something.
me, a fucking German
He felt
Shepherd
like
is
a-
still pretty fucking.
He felt like he was a Great Dane. Like
Yeah.
it looked like, but he was the sweetest, nice, most docile dog. And like if we did like neighborhood basketball, or baseball, whatever we were playing, whatever sport was in season is what we played.
Yeah.
He would just kind of like sit and like watches, and then he just didn't appear one day. So
Oh.
don't really know what happened. R.I.P. Junkyard, the best dog that I've never had. So, but I feel like a lot of people don't know too much about bees.
Yeah.
I read different occasions, I guess wherever you would read about bees in school.
Probably the
Science
internet.
journals.
Probably the library.
If we're
back in the
talking
day.
a long time
At
ago,
least back then,
the
you know.
encyclopedia. But
Yeah. But a lot of people don't know about bees, and so what would you say would be the most crucial thing? What's the most important thing outside of?
don't get stung.
Like the most important thing about honeybees, or the most important thing I do with bees?
Maybe most important thing for regular human beings to know about
Yeah.
bees.
I would definitely say that if you have an opportunity to ever have a beehive infest your home,
Opportunity.
right?
That's an interesting.
To definitely call a beekeeper and see if it can be done
Yeah.
live and relocated. It's just
Sure,
good positive
I
way
think
to do so.
I think on
Yeah.
average, nobody wants to fuck with like 100 bees.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to fuck with one bee. Like when I see one bee, I get a little nervous. I'm like, you fucking keep flying over there. Stay in your little fly zone over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't come near me. If it's just like around a tree or something, or
you
at the
could-
time or whatever. But
So I do have I have a question for you.
Sure.
And this comes from my girlfriend because I wouldn't come up with this intelligent of a question.
All right.
But what can you tell me about colony collapse disorder?
Okay.
If those are the right words.
Yeah, that's right. Colony collapse disorder, as we talk about it in the bee community, it's CCD. We have come kind of to the conclusion, a lot of studies out of the University of Florida, it's what we find is like a huge compiling of all sorts of stressors from the environment that are induced by us to the colonies of honeybees, on top of all the things they already have to deal with inside of that box. It's hard enough to have to go out and look for resources like pollen and nectar, but then you also have things inside of that box that are preying on a colony of bees. If a colony of bees isn't strong enough, it's going to...
Like what?
Well, one of the major and biggest factors right now is a mite that we have called the varroa mite.
Okay.
And the varroa mite, to put it into perspective, it would be something like the size of a volleyball, a tick, let's say, attached to
the
you,
size of
to
a
someone
volleyball?
like a human being. Yeah. So if you were to break it down from bee size to human, it's a very large, we're talking about like a monster, mite. And that mite is sucking out all the life juice from all of what, is inside of those cells, those baby bees. So those bees are already emerging with, very little life source, and they, are emerging with a lot of problems. Like one of the things they have is a K-wing syndrome, where their hind wing and forewing don't attach like they're supposed to.
Okay.
With like these little hooks that they have that attach the forewing and the hind wing. When they attach, they have these little hooks, and they're not being fully developed, and the bees can't fly, and not flying is rendering these bees not being able to collect resources.
Last time I checked,
things like that.
flight is pretty important.
Super important. If you want to go get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
For anything that naturally has wings, I would imagine it's important.
But,
Except those Florida ducks.
oh, those Muscovies.
Because they like,
Or penguins.
they'll walk out of a car's way. They won't really like,
They
sometimes.
waddle nice and
Sometimes
slow.
they just stand
Sometimes
there
they
and
get
tell you to
fucking
go
hit.
fuck yourself.
sometimes they get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're no fun.
Yeah.
Poop
Florida
everywhere.
ducks, they have a name. They are the
Muscovy.
yes.
Oh, I
Those
just called them
ducks.
cancer ducks.
Yeah, they're not even native to Florida. Actually, they're an invasive
They're
species.
invasive. Oh, fuck them.
Yeah,
Just like iguanas.
just like iguanas.
So-
which,
Or like
That was another point that-
Another fun
Australopithecus
one.
tree.
That was another. So Gold Coast Wildlife, you do.
Yeah, I own Gold Coast Wildlife. It's
Okay.
a wildlife trapping company. We specialize
Super
in,
popular down here in South Florida.
Yeah, man. I specialize in the removal of invasive species, and under our removal, we also do honeybees.
So you guys remove other things besides just bees?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we specialize in bees, specifically in the live platform, because I've been a beekeeper for 8 years now. So that's
Nice.
that's my main focus. But being a Floridian, and seeing like all like the wildlife that used to be down here.
Sure.
You see these invasive species coming in and decimating, native plant populations and eating food sources out of all sorts of, straight out from under other insects or other animals that need those resources that are native here. So we have a lot of problems with iguanas and pythons and things like that.
So
back
if
here in
you're
South Florida.
listening and you're not aware of, I guess, what we deal with down here in South Florida. So South Florida is a melting pot. It's pretty much full of people from everywhere, and a lot of times, especially from the Caribbean side of things, between boats and freighters and things like that, they bring over Jesus lizards and all kinds of different breeds of everything, snakes. And so you'll have things that pretty much
Jesus
run
lizards,
rampant.
the fat curly tail lizards.
No, those are called curly tails. They're actually
Those,
they look
those
like
have
armored
literally
lizards.
appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, and
it's
they're
like the regular lizards that we
monsters.
used to have kind of
Yeah.
died out.
They push them out.
Eat them out. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh, they eat 'em.
they're carnivorous. They eat other lizards.
That's why they're like
Phrasing?
They're diesel, man. Those things will bulldoze you.
Yeah.
they are, and they're like sometimes not afraid of people.
all.
Yeah, I mean they're
Like they will, like
half the size of
obviously,
me.
not take fucking chances, but they do. Like I'm like they usually live like in a parking stump.
Yeah.
Because I think they burrow and they live in cracks or whatever. But yeah, man, we have all kinds of shit down here.
Yeah.
We have pythons that are swallowing
Gators, man.
gators and boars.
Oh yeah.
Wild boar out here. Things in the Everglades. It's crazy. Like you don't, so like that's got to be a really hot ticket for you, especially because we have Florida Wildlife said we can terminate iguanas, right?
Correct.
So people are taking it upon themselves to kind of.
And you can eat them too.
Some people do. I haven't had it, but I know that a lot of like a lot of Cuban folks, they will just like set up traps or whatever, and then they'll like freeze them.
It's more. I mean, some Cubans I know that do it. But I've seen a lot of like.
A lot of people are like shoot them in the head.
Oh yeah, man. But people from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, all over
360
Central America, man. They love it, man. I've seen all
eating
sorts of recipes. Yeah, eating it. I've seen all sorts of
There's
recipes.
a lot of them.
and
Fucking keep eating them.
Crazy stuff, man. I mean, to be honest, I mean the joke is they call them the chicken of the tree. Mm-hmm. So like, I mean,
If you got chicken of the sea, why not have chicken of the tree?
for real, man.
Thanks, Jessica Simpson.
But I mean, that could be a potential, like, if done properly, like a fairly renewable, readily available protein source.
Sure. I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm South Korean. We eat. Fuck you. We don't eat dogs. I don't eat dogs. They probably do.
But cats sometimes.
And cats.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I don't know if I had or not. But I have not chosen to. But that just,
As far as you know.
that spiraled really bad.
like it.
Because I'm just like, fuck you. Have I? I don't know. But yeah. So like you have people that South Koreans will eat. Like I can comfortably eat squid. Some people call it calamari, right? If you fry like a pig's asshole, I'll probably eat it.
Agreed.
I don't really give a shit. But it's a pork rind.
Yeah,
Right?
I think.
I think so.
I don't think they pick and choose all like willy nilly. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna get the select piece of this fucking pork rind, this $1 bag of pork rinds that you're just fucking gorging on on your couch with your
I'm like
shitty beer.
99% sure I have one in my passenger seat of my truck.
Wait, a pork rind or
a pig's asshole?
Pig's asshole.
Ooh, that maybe there is one in that bag.
Maybe
Pork
there
rinds.
is.
I mean, I would eat it. I think
I bet you would.
I would. If I eat like stomach lining
Tripe?
for like like in pho or pho,
Pho.
whatever.
Otherwise, the puns don't work and the fucking names of the restaurants.
Pho.
It's gotta be
People
pho.
know. It's like tomato, but it's actually probably pho, right?
It's
not a
definitely
tomato for pho. It's
Yeah.
like anyway, but there's an entire like country that eats live squid, and it's like really normal.
My brother's eaten live
It's good.
octopus.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, octopus. Yeah, it's really good. It's especially when it's in like a really hot, like spicy seafood stew. Mm-hmm. But that's my point. Like, so yeah, Cubans and Colombians and different Spanish countries eat iguana. Yeah, it's meat.
Right.
It is what it is.
It is.
And some of those fuckers are
Some
big.
people
Hey,
eat
man.
insects.
For the record, if you're listening and you don't know, just type in South Florida iguana and
Green iguana.
the green iguana.
Green iguana.
Because like I feel like there's different variations, but the ones that are literally like when you're in your car or in your like, I stopped biking when I was a kid on sidewalks and I started biking in the street because those motherfuckers are like right on the sidewalk, and I've seen people eat it. I've seen people like I've seen a guy
better to
roll
avoid
over-
the iguana and get hit by the car.
roll over like a small, medium-sized iguana, and it got stuck on his frame, and his tire locked, and he got launched off of it. Swear.
Yeah, but then afterwards he's got like way better than having playing cards in your spokes.
It's
He's
a
got
pretty,
an
it's a
iguana
pretty
in his
good
spokes.
story. I also will never ride a bike again,
But
but
did he die?
I don't know. But
I meant the person, not the
if you're
iguana.
listening, Google the green iguana. They can be 6 foot.
That's about
tail
right.
included, but like the body spikes. I mean, it's prehistoric. It is not. This shit is a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur in your like lawn, and those motherfuckers can swim.
They can.
They can swim good,
Oh yeah.
and they fuck up your entire yard.
But they can't dodge
They
bullets.
burrow under like your home.
They don't.
And everything. This is why they're invasive.
Actually,
I don't know if we covered that.
Funny thing. So my girlfriend's apartment, they've got this like there's a couple trees like right by the sidewalks that the iguanas used to like really love hanging out in.
Right.
And it was shitting all over everything. So
Yeah.
the way they dealt with it
If you own a
was
pool, it's a
they
nightmare.
put
It's a
they
nightmare.
put just like this flat metal band around it.
They wrap the tree.
And they wrap the tree with it, just in this like one spot, like that tall. And I've seen the iguanas like try to decide to run up it, and they run up and they like get there and they just sit there confused.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
The fuck is this shit? It's wild.
They can't get up, man. We do tree wraps as well, but we remove them from everywhere. I mean, they go under people's houses.
Well, so this is what they do.
They like literally dig under the
Oh, yeah,
foundation,
man.
They dig these tunnels, and like
like the Viet
basically
Cong.
this underground, tunnel rats.
Yeah, it's like
right?
an
We
underground
have tunnel rats.
colony, man. They'll like go down there. A female iguana will lay like 60 eggs. You know, it's a.
But they sabotage
Jesus.
your foundation, like your structure.
Correct.
Yeah, I would bet.
So they ruin fucking plants.
They undo
they're invasive.
seawalls.
Yeah, and they don't really have a natural predator.
None.
I mean,
Raccoons.
Until people
Really big
start
raccoons.
eating them.
raccoons.
They're really, really big raccoons.
Yeah, I mean, they
I've
gotta
seen
be-
a couple times, man. But they got to be like.
That's really interesting.
You'd have to be a
They got to
big
be some
fucking
bullies,
raccoon.
man.
I'm gonna YouTube that
mean,
as soon as we're finished.
I caught a 6-footer last year, and it almost took the tip of my thumb off.
Holy
like,
shit.
They're
A
huge.
6 foot iguana or
Yeah,
a 6?
man.
Okay, I thought you meant 6 foot raccoon.
No,
I was
no,
like,
man.
Oh,
No, I'm saying.
I also thought you were saying 6-foot
no,
raccoon.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I was like, we gotta
No,
get the
man.
fuck out of here, guys.
Raccoon's taller than me?
Look at that
Jesus.
6-foot raccoon.
Definitely need to relocate. 'cause
Yeah, I would just leave.
That would need a bear cage, I'm sure.
There's what's in the Philippines? There's like human-sized bats.
Yeah.
The
I'm
fruit
like
bats.
I still
picturing
haven't
this.
googled it, but I'm just like, yo, son.
I'm picturing this raccoon like
If
smoking
I
a
just saw
cigarette
like
with
James
a bottle.
just fucking flying
Yeah.
at me, that's it. I'm
That's it.
moving. I'm not.
Yeah.
Why? There's no reason that shouldn't. Those things don't collide.
Fuck
we
that.
don't need to be.
We don't need that.
We don't need that.
Is there anything that you guys don't remove?
We don't deal with bobcats, panthers,
You
gators.
don't say.
I thought
or
Florida
bears.
Panthers were
Large
done.
cats?
Yeah.
I thought Florida Panthers didn't exist anymore.
No, they definitely exist, and
They
they're
do.
actually their population is on the rise from what
That's
I
good.
understand.
Did you hear that they were like extinct?
I could have sworn I remembered when in like high school that they were like almost extinct.
We had some
I'm pretty sure
pretty
they're low.
solid problems, man. Or we had some really low populations, but
Yeah.
with all the conservation that's taken place, there's less poaching going on. There's less, there's less people out there actually physically hunting.
Well, I think
The
land
story,
has been,
the
land
story I
has been-
remember.
Land is a big problem when
Yeah.
it comes to removing of land.
The story I remember was that like it was either the turnpike or some highway was too close to their natural habitats, and they were like literally just getting hit by cars.
Alligator Alley was like that. Too.
Alligator Alley.
Oh yeah.
Alligator Alley was like that as well.
Yeah, I did a Billy Swamp Safari out there, and they did like this whole. It was actually really fucking cool.
Those guys have been around forever.
Yeah, Billy Swamp Safari. Look them up. You get in like this 10-foot monster truck buggy thing that goes throughout the Everglades, basically, and they take you through some old, like indigenous kind of like tribes, like Seminole. I think the Seminole Indian.
Probably.
Yeah, and so like you see like how
Maybe
they live out there,
Miccosukee.
and it's wild as shit. Like most of us live in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Davie area. Like it's 10, 15 minutes from the ocean, and you have the highest elevation is Davie, I think.
Is that where the
burial site
giant?
is? It wasn't. It was like
Well, there's a landfill that's the highest.
Oh,
point in
Trash
Broward.
Mountain.
Well, not Trash Mountain. It's fucking. They call it Vista View Park now.
yeah, that's Trash
It's
Mountain.
Trash Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's the other Trash Mountain in Palm Beach. But
Oh well, there's a few of them.
that one's still a landfill.
It's
This
just
one's
trash,
covered
so
in
it's not
grass.
Yeah,
now.
the Vista View used to be
Yeah.
a dump.
it's
and
all
then
like
they
picnic and
filled
like
it in, and
kids play and work
Yeah.
out in there.
they have like a drone racing course out there and everything.
Huh.
Yeah,
Whatever works for you
floats your
guys.
boat.
I knew I heard drones out there. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
because like my daughter plays there in the playground there because it's one of the nicer ones around, and like you can hear like the buzzing, and I'm like, what the
Yes. Yes, you heard that right. The landfill is one of the nicer parks around.
It's
Whoa.
a big park.
It's just fucking grass now
Yeah,
and trees.
it doesn't even smell.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's true.
The one on Red Road, you can smell that from Flamingo, Red Road. You can like on the other side. You can smell it's.
Yeah.
I used to every time we used to drive by, I used to tell my brother, "It's like this smells like boiled hot dogs." But like after like boiled hot dogs
that you left
but
out for
like,
a week.
No, like after like you had your 1 or 2 or 3, or however many you eat. But then like there's still like 1 or
Or
2
6 in
sitting
this
in the
case.
like boiled hot dog water that's now like room temperature
I'm
water.
sorry. Do you mean the hot dog flavored water?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Does it perhaps come with a chocolate star?
It's a very unique smell. Like the next time you boil hot dogs, you're like, that fucking
I
guy.
don't boil hot dogs. I grill them.
Well, what the fuck? Like, people boil hot dogs. Am I? Come on, it's
Fucking
not a weird.
savages
It's
boil
not
hot
a weird
dogs.
thing. That's how you eat hot dogs. You don't fucking grill hot dogs every time you eat hot dogs.
I grill hot dogs every time I eat hot dogs.
Okay, well, you also grew up in a gated community, so go fuck yourself. But
I mean, that just means that, like, all right, I've not always had a grill. I will fucking cast iron
Oh.
skillet it,
Oh.
which gives the same effect.
Okay.
Which I guess technically at that point you would be char grilling it, like say char hut.
motherfucker, the point is,
It'd better get fucking grill marks on it.
boil hot dogs.
Or
The
I'm
next
not
time you
eating
eat, you're gonna smell that water, and you can be like, that motherfucker John, he had a point. I know what this landfill smells like now. Anywho, so
So I did have like one more piece of that question.
well, you could ask a 100, man. I don't care.
So like, if someone has a gator in their pool, do you remove it?
I mean,
that's when you buy a new home.
I'm
Well, I mean, obviously.
I'm not
like a 3
licensed
foot-
to
like a
do
3
so.
foot gator.
I don't really do gator removal.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I mean, I may for fun, but I wouldn't.
You
do
want to
it.
know? You want to know a really fucking funny thing? So, this show's about perspective, and although there's going to be some really heavy, sticky topics, and it's not always going to be pleasant and funny.
Hey man, the bees are dying. That's not pleasant or funny.
That's true. It's not. But this is actually funny. So, growing up black people do not fuck with wildlife. It is just not something. Maybe because predominantly black communities are not anywhere near a fucking forest or whatever places.
Sure.
Where there's wildlife and shit like that. But just even as a society, as a people, the majority, you're gonna have your one-off kid and guy, whatever. But as a collective, we just don't fucking do wildlife. So anytime in school,
whenever you're talking to the dude who does wildlife less than anyone on this planet.
I know,
because I'm allergic to all of them.
I know, but like I'm saying, if like you remember, like in elementary school, I don't know, like people would bring animals and shit.
Oh
like,
yeah, man.
On that day, I had to be in another classroom.
Well, goddamn, dude, you suck.
Yeah, no, I
suck.
do.
Like you can't even like, you suck.
Yeah,
It sucks. So you have like like just there's like YouTube videos of like reactions, and it's funny as shit because like a python, unless you go to a zoo and you fucking see one through a glass like that close, that's the closest like anyone's ever. And even then like, you know, it's like, nah, bro, like he's like way over there, and it's like, nah, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm gonna stay right here. It's just funny. It's funny. They was like, I don't fuck with wildlife, you know. Like I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, I don't just do like we're watching. It's Shark Week, right? So we're watching. My Lincoln's obsessed.
It is Lincoln's favorite
obsessed, week. Like he says a lot of gibberish. He's like blah 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 his slur, and then he goes sharks.
Shark was one
and
of his like first clear.
We know he likes fucking
words.
sharks, and like it'd be all day, whenever, you know, you have kids.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like he loves sharks, and like she's
Shark,
like, so
Shark Week is Lincoln
She's like,
Week.
what would you do? She's like, what would you do if you're swimming in like, you know, a shark? Like,
Get the fuck out of the water.
I was like, honestly, I'm
Correction, I'd probably piss myself first. Then I'd get the fuck out of the water.
I mean, I would like to think I would assess the situation and try to like stay calm. But realistically, I'm probably just thinking about what's the fastest way I can kill myself.
No, you don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, I do.
As long as you're not bleeding, you'll escape.
No, you'll be fine, man. Swimming with sharks is super humbling. Like it's really nice. Like
I bet.
Yeah. Fucking playing with bees is super humbling too. But
yeah. I mean, I guess
You know what
I
I'm
have an affinity for animals that could kill you.
so like you don't.
So you have a bit of a death wish.
You can't do what you do and literally be how I feel. Like you would have to.
No.
You would have. Like, no, there's no fucking way.
Do you fear nothing?
No, I mean, I fear.
I mean,
guess.
a bobcat.
I mean, bobcats are like 30 pounds. I mean, they can fuck your day up, but like, I mean, they're gonna run away from you for the most part. You know, I'd be more scared of like, I don't know,
Water moccasin.
even water moccasins. I don't know. I just
What are you
I
afraid
don't
of?
play with them. It's just everything in you know.
You're the Latino Steve Irwin, bro. Like it's not.
Yeah, that's how I feel, bro. El Guajiro, they call me, the Cuban cowboy, right? So, they, I mean, every animal has a way to be handled or worked with, and you know.
Do you follow the real Tarzan on Instagram?
No, man. I actually follow Python Cowboy. I don't know if you're a fan.
The
of
guy
him.
that doesn't like him.
The guy that doesn't like him. I'm team.
My God.
I'm team Cowboy. I'll go on
So
record.
I know
saying
that there's
right now.
beef. I only follow the real Tarzan because I came across him first,
Yeah,
and
I mean the
Now
guy.
the two of you are no longer
He's-
allowed to speak.
he seems to like. I don't know anything about him. I don't know about fucking animals to even like have that kind of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's interesting. You know, he's a big, strong black guy, so he can like carry like, you know, like cubs and like lion cubs or whatever, and he like plays with animals, and he seems to be really fearless, which is, like I said, very different for a lot of black folks.
No, mad props to the guy, you know, because I mean, I'll definitely say that he does do to some level, you know,
He works hard, at least on the
outreach
videos
for animals, you know, like he's definitely an advocate for animals.
Sure.
But I can't vouch, you know, for him or the things that he does, because seeing, you know, I guess some of the animals he deals with, you wouldn't be able to handle those animals in that format without something taking place, like
Well,
Insanity?
Huh?
Like insanity?
Insanity or like mistreatment of the animal to some
sure.
degree. You know,
But you have to know about that.
But you have to know about those things to be able to actually catch those things and see those things.
Well, like when you read his captions, at least, and I'm in no way saying anything more or less, just making my observation. When I read his captions, they always seem to be very informative as far as like, please don't do this. I do this. I'm an asshole.
yeah, you know, if that's how, I mean, I don't follow him.
I don't think
so
he's
that's why
harming the
I can't.
animals per se, but you know more than I do. I just feel like he does as good as a job as you. I mean, when you grow up literally handling animals, I think his dad handled animals. Mm-hmm. I read a little piece on it. Like you get so comfortable that it's second nature. You don't even have to.
Of course.
Like you having to sit and think about what you do and why you do it. It's a little like, oh well, I guess yeah, you know, because you just do it. It's your job, and it's something you've done for a while. But I think, you know, like James asking the question, like, you know, what should the average person know? Like, those are things that I think people who are in position. Those are things that you should always talk about, right? To educate. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying in general. And it's crucial. It's crucial because you have somebody like myself who likes to respect nature and animals.
Well, and like
Ocean's
literally
a big
crucial.
fucking place. I don't
like,
fuck with the ocean. I'll be on my boat. Like I like boats. I like boat rides. But I got a little nervous when I went on my first cruise. Like it's dark as shit out there at night. It is fucking dark.
It's scary.
And it's dark. And it's just black and dark.
I don't know.
Dark is the key word.
phrasing.
Abysmal.
Dark. It's scary.
Abysmal
It's
is
a big,
actually a good one
it's
for
a
it.
big, scary, empty, dark fucking space. And then like just the water, the consistency of the water crashing is just like really fucking scary, terrifying. So I respect nature. I respect
You have to, man.
animals.
So I'm gonna hold you to an answer though.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not being able to go home and see my kids, I guess.
Fucking,
but like to be honest, man, I don't know, man.
I don't know, heights.
I've been having like
Spiders?
anxiety attacks
You
just
know what,
because
man? I'm not gonna lie.
think
and
about how much I love my family.
I'll go on the record, bro. I get a little shaky on a ladder.
There we go.
I get a little,
Heights.
I get a little shaky on a ladder, man. Yeah, I've never like jumped out of a plane or nothing like that. But
So
like,
animals pertaining to your job that you really.
Oh yeah, man.
So,
I'll
like,
chase an iguana up a 2-story house, and then I'll look down. And I'll be like, oh shit.
I'm up here now.
All right.
That's what cats do. If you have house cats, they fucking. If you ever had like an indoor outdoor cat, they dart and just pew straight up the tree, and then they're like, oh shit.
So if we ended
I'm
up
up
with
here.
invasive koalas down here,
Oh,
they
man.
would be on the list of things
I'd
that
have one,
Gold
like, on
Coast
my back.
Wildlife
Invasive
doesn't.
koalas.
Yeah. So I mean, we do just invasives
so cute. They
because
sleep like 18
they gotta
hours
go,
a day.
man. Invasives gotta go. They can't be
They
here.
do, and like my last job, we had some people that came from out of state, and our parking lot had.
Dude, you can't just call people from out of state invasives. That's fucked up.
So they're from Colorado.
I'm offended.
And they were from Colorado, and like they'd never seen, I guess, great iguanas. And we had they would run. They're like medium. There was like maybe a few 3-4 footers that hung out in the trees, the big guys. But most of them were like the chameleons, the smaller ones. But like that was incredibly like cool for them.
Oh, sure.
They're like filming, like, oh my god, like get this! I gotta show this to my nephew.
It's like they're in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
For
And
you,
like,
it's
I'm
a
like,
Tuesday.
I'm like, bro, we're just like making sure we don't like reverse on one, you know, leaving
Right?
this fucking job.
Because then you're an asshole.
Oh man.
I mean, I've yet to hit one, but I wouldn't feel too bad about it if I did.
Well, sure.
But then there's a lot of people, listeners, animal loyalists.
And now they're all going to hate you.
You're gonna hate me, but these motherfuckers gotta go. They do so much damage. Like, I don't own a pool, and every time I talk to somebody who, like, one of our good friends, Joey, does the pool cleaning, right?
Yeah.
So he was telling me a story of, he's telling me, like, it's like, yo, you know, half my shifts and my jobs are cleaning pools that are swamped with iguana droppings.
They have to shock the pool.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, keeping like I used to clean pools when I was a teenager for just some extra petty cash, but I know in South Florida, it's like this, having a pool's obviously a huge blessing, and it's a lot of work, making it stay pretty and clear and blue. You gotta take care of it. It's just like anything. If you have a nice car, you gotta wash it. You gotta detail it, keep it, treat it with love and respect and whatever. But iguana shit is
Terrible.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
You can Google that too. You can definitely have fun.
You want
search
them
that.
to Google iguana shit?
Well, it could contain salmonella, man.
Perhaps they should Google meat spin.
It
while they're
does.
at
It does contain salmonella, and pets and animals will fucking. Not
Get
like
sick,
dogs
man.
are going like some fucking dogs might be dumb enough to do.
I mean, anybody who has is sick or weakened immune system of some sort, salmonella that'll mess
sure,
your day
for
up, dude.
Raise your hand.
There you go.
This guy, oh man, did you even get to go on any field trips?
I did go on the airboat ride.
Oh man.
You're not allergic to air.
I mean, I am under certain circumstances, but yeah.
Sawgrass.
Yeah. There's wasps out there, dude.
To be fair, this is America. There are wasps everywhere.
This is true. This is true.
That's funny.
The best
That's
part
funny.
is that everyone can see the hesitation.
I had to look it up because
I
couldn't
know,
see.
I know. I did the same thing earlier.
The best thing about this machine, which a lot of people now that they're
Do you mean the Rodecaster Pro?
the Rodecaster Pro, yeah, it's like a built-in all-in-one machine for
Yeah.
podcasting. But it's still like, till you get really familiar with it, it's still like, oh, okay, I got to get familiar with it. Like I've worked on mixers and stuff. I was in a band, but it's still like, oh yeah, okay, well that's because presets is a thing with a lot of mixers, and some people will put tape, some people will put whatever, and volume and everything is already set, and really just power on and off, and you're good to go. But this thing, it's like you set it up where you want. It's great. It's an awesome device. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about that. So yeah, like animal trapping is one of the wildest things because you pick up roadkill.
I mean,
Who do they
not
call?
for fun.
Why would you bother?
Yeah.
Well, like I know that's
he
a
does
whole.
live removal. They're dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I do have to remove,
I wasn't
dead
sure if that's the
animals
thing that
from
people call you
people's
for.
properties. I've had people call me for, things dying in their attic and
Right.
all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, I've gotten calls at 3:00 in the morning from a lady like in hysteria because she was getting ready for work in her bathroom, and her lighting fixture in her ceiling in the bathroom fell with a raccoon on top of it.
Oh.
And here's this mama raccoon running around.
That's
It's
what
like,
I'm torching the whole fucking house. The
And
whole
she's
house
like,
is
nope,
getting-
you gotta come
Was it the
right
6
now.
foot tall raccoon?
Oh man, yeah. that was the chupacabra, bro. That was,
Can you
Did
imagine
he
just
smoke marbles or
Can you
Marlboro
imagine
Lights?
just like sitting there and a fucking body just falls through your ceiling?
I'd be like, all right, this is your house now. I'm gonna move.
No longer here.
Yeah.
Fucking take whatever you like.
Kill it with fire.
I've seen things, man.
That's so funny. That's
So I don't think we asked it earlier. What like led you to decide you wanted to be a beekeeper?
Oh man, so in the building that I live in, I live with my wife, and I have 3 kids, and we're living in the same building that I met my wife in. So we were living in one of the units.
That's a transition right there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So
Just like slider mattress down the fucking hallway.
poof, it was legit.
I actually made a move like that in the place I'm in
You
now.
did.
I moved from like next door to the one. Just had an extra bedroom.
There you go. Yeah. So we lived in one of the units, and we had a beehive in the back, in the soffit, and it was never like an issue because like we just saw it, and it was no big deal. We ended up moving.
Those were your bee bros.
Yeah, they were just like bee bros. We
Yeah.
saw them every once in a while. It was
like
no big deal. I didn't even know what I
bros.
was looking at the time,
Bee
other
bros.
than like, oh, they're honeybees. Like I knew about other.
They're not
you know?
wasps.
Yeah, they're not wasps. I know that.
Are there just like other bees that are not honeybees?
We have other
Hornets?
bees like native bees.
I thought all like bees are
Not here.
the same kind of.
You've got yellow jackets
Yeah,
and
but
hornets.
They would be in a
well,
class
they're not
like
down
that.
here.
Those would be considered a Vespa instead of like
Those are not honeybees.
Yeah.
He would know the difference if he looked at
Those are
them.
predatory.
We would not know the
They're
difference.
carnivorous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, they eat other
Carnivorous?
insects. Yeah, they eat other insects. So
They have they eat them and like swallow, digest them.
wasps go hunting other insects, man. That's like their that's
So
what
if
they
you
do.
had like 2 colonies of them in the same place,
No,
you'd
they're
have,
not gonna
like,
interact,
The
really.
sharks and the jets
No,
snapping and having knife fights.
That'd be good though, right? No, man, they really just prey on other like smaller insects that are hanging out on flowers, trying to get any sort of
You
resources
ever watch
from
it
there.
like a 35-minute video of like a wasp flying into like a spider?
No. Why would I watch a 35-minute video of a
Like
wasp
YouTube black
flying into a
holes.
spider? Okay.
Come on, we've all been in black holes before.
I mean, sure.
You go down the rabbit hole, and then 3 a.m. You're watching.
You're like, wow, why
You're
didn't I
watching
take the blue
Zeitgeist,
pill?
Yeah.
and you're just like, nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah.
I need to restart
Yeah.
everything. So,
Anyways, so you're in the building
Oh yeah, so
that you met your wife in.
yeah,
and
so
there's-
we ended up moving into the unit next door, and then all of a sudden we had backdoor access, and right next
Hey,
that's what
yeah,
she
right.
said.
So boy, so we had the bees were like right in the backyard when we opened the
exit
door.
only, guys.
Yeah.
Don't hate.
And what ended up happening was I think she got stung first, and then like a couple of days later, I got stung first, and we're like, all right, we got to do something about these bees.
There's no first after one gets
After
stung.
the first one, we were like, no, this is not happening again.
Why were you like in your house?
Yeah, we were in the back of and they were just in the back of the house, like
Because
in
they
the
were in the
soffit.
wall
They were
or
living in the
something.
soffit.
What's a soffit?
That little overhang that comes out of your wall when it meets the roof, that like little pitch, and it has like the
rain
vents
gutters?
in it. Well, you have the rain gutters, and then you have like that flat part of the roof.
Oh,
and then the wall.
okay. Where
So-
all beehive like wasp nests
Every
are.
single beehive
just
like
the
ever.
ledge, yeah.
You know, it's like a little like
Alright.
slit, and that's normally where your vents are.
So they
for
were
your roof.
squatting in your roof.
Yeah, they were living in the soffit there, and what ended up happening is my wife started doing some research, and she found that the University of Florida was hosting something called South Florida Bee College right in Davie.
Presumably still
Yeah,
getting
man.
stung
That shit would be
during
in
the
Navy.
research.
Yeah, I was like,
it would definitely be in Navy.
we're like, well,
Where
shit,
like
man.
the rodeo is.
Yeah, it was like pretty close.
Persian.
It's like where the Department of Agriculture building is right there. It's
Yeah, okay.
UF campus.
Yeah, it's right there.
By,
So-
right by BC. Not
Yo,
BC.
that whole
Yeah,
area,
right across the street.
That
from
whole
UC.
College
area
Drive.
is like not what I like.
Oh,
I haven't
dude.
been there, and I don't know because I don't need to go that way. But
It's like
It's-
forever under
yeah.
construction.
it's
It is.
bro. There's so many buildings there now. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not.
there's an
it used to
FAU
just
campus,
be
too.
like it was just like land and like horse ranches.
yeah, it's all used to be was horse country, man.
yeah. It's
And
crazy.
before that, it was
So-
swamp.
Yeah, it's very
But
true.
so
I was like, well,
and your
Shit.
Roxy's and Blue.
yeah, all
Dealers
sorts of fun stuff.
and the
That's
trail
true.
parks
That's
there.
very true.
yeah.
But
So you get that prime. So you
that
get
good,
that
good?
prime painkiller, baby. I don't fuck with painkillers, but it's out there.
so we ended up doing some research, and we found that they were hosting these courses, and I was like, well, let me check it out. Let me see what's going on with this. And in the first day, I took some basic like beekeeping courses where beekeeping originated.
Step
and
one:
little things.
don't get stung.
Basically, yeah.
I thought step
Step
one was
two.
cut a hole in the
See,
box.
well,
Depends.
for air.
Oh,
No.
so
Sorry, dude.
no, you're
It's the
cool,
alcohol.
man.
It's the alcohol.
Hey,
Like,
I'm
it's-
gonna have some more in a little bit anyway. So, I ended up meeting a couple guys who were like some really old school beekeepers. One of them was like a 4th generation beekeeper. A couple of the other guys
Jeez.
were like wild stuff, man. A couple of these guys were just doing bee removals, and they've been doing it professionally for years.
Sure.
And I told them my situation, and they're like, "Well, how do you feel about coming tomorrow? Instead of coming at like 8:30, you come at 7,
Sure.
and I have a flower pot, and I'll teach you how to do a live bee removal." And I was
Okay.
like, I'm like, "Oh, well, where is that?" He's like, "No, it's not there. It's not like a class. You just
Right.
come in, and I'll teach you, man." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah.
What? So I ended up going, and he basically is like, "All right, this is a flower pot," and he like kicks it over, and he's like, "Get going." I'm like, "What the hell do you mean?" Like,
Wow.
And I ended up doing a removal from it, man. He showed me how to take the panels of wax out and how to put them in the frames.
That's a
and
pretty
how to-
good like free. It was free, right?
Yeah. It was. I mean, I paid for the course,
Free as-
but
yeah.
like that wasn't part of
Yeah, no.
scheduling or anything. So I got to learn it, and then the following year they actually put live bee removal as a course that you could take for the courses. Yeah. So like I was kind of like a sample,
tester.
like tester.
Are you
there.
allergic to bees? Because
Yeah.
if you are, you probably shouldn't take this.
So
Probably not.
so this guy basically taught me how to do removals, and then I went on to do a couple of removals for some people, like really easy stuff. Like my first removal was a swarm of bees on a fire hydrant.
I see your definition of easy and my definition of easy. They're
Yeah.
two very different things.
I mean, well, the first removal I
Swarm
decided
of
to take
bees
on, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do
fire
this and
hydrant.
like
That's
get
a
paid
no-go for
for
me.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, I took on a job that I was, it took me 14 hours to do, and then I had to come back the next day.
Oh, yeah, no.
And I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
But put it like this.
That is
If
deep
there's-
into my kill it with fire mode.
Yeah, man, it was awful.
If there's ever a apocalypse,
This is
and
A
we
bee
survive,
apocalypse?
that'd just be awful. But no, if there was ever like a Walking Dead scenario,
Okay.
and we were rebuilding a community, we got a fucking bee guy.
yeah, man,
We got a bee guy
with guns.
right with guns.
Not for the bees, for the zombies.
Fucking remember that Dane Cook? Fuck you, bee. Fucking stupid bee.
I've been thinking about it this whole time.
You're a son of a bee.
I've been trying really hard
Dane
not
Cook.
to say fuck you, bee.
Dane Cook
It's been a long time.
rose
since they could.
and then didn't fall, but I don't know what happened to him. But he used to make me laugh. And
was good, man.
Then he
I
had
feel
a-
like most people say
then he
that
had like
10 minutes into his video.
He had an immaculate run at really bad rom-coms.
He hasn't been funny since Wait.
But like all of them, all the girls were like smoking hot, but it was just like really bad.
to distract you from Dane Cook not being funny. Yeah.
Didn't
I
we
mean,
do something
I-
with Jessica Simpson? We mentioned her earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was what was that Employee of the Month?
There you go.
Yeah.
Got to come back, revisit it.
And then he had one with Jessica Alba.
Ooh.
Maybe he has a thing for Jessica's.
I mean, I have a thing for Jessica's if it's those two. I mean, it's, who the fuck wouldn't?
Right.
Sure.
But needless to say, Dane Cook was great.
That was fun.
Yeah, he was alright.
I thought he was great. He was a little.
He told stories really well.
That's
That's
all
better.
you need. That's all you need. You need to be. If you're gonna be funny, you gotta connect.
That's right.
He was just really. What's the word when you use your entire body to talk and explain?
He's expressive.
Italian? I don't think he is Italian though. He is very expressive. Yes.
He might be Italian. I don't know.
I don't know. Not with a name like Dane Cook.
He's from
I
Boston.
assume that's a stage name.
Be
So,
Irish. He's from
Probably
Boston.
Danish.
He's from Massachusetts. I believe he's from Massachusetts. I don't know.
Are you accusing him of being a masshole?
I mean, it's a thing.
I know it.
Yeah, it's a thing. Fuck the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Fuck the Patriots and fuck Boston.
He's a Bills fan, so it's funny. But no, it's funny because I'm a Dolphins fan. So we're both pretty much.
You're in the same boat. Like all the
we
sports
are.
you're in.
We don't talk shit to
you
each other
don't-
because like we don't. It doesn't really affect us.
Yeah, we're
It's like
yeah, we both suck.
you suck. Well, you suck too.
Fuck Boston.
Cool.
Fuck Boston.
You can always enjoy.
Now we can't
when
even be
people suck
mad because
together.
Tom Brady's in Tampa Bay, so it's like
No, man. I have this like nightmare scenario of the Bills will finally be good and make a deep ass run in the fucking playoffs and play in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay fucking Buccaneers and lose to Tom Brady and Gronk again.
dude, I would.
I'd kill myself. That's all there is to it.
Plot twist. You still
Yeah.
lose to Tom
We
Brady.
still lose to Tom Brady. It doesn't matter where he
Eat a
is.
dick. That's the worst.
Yeah.
So how about that hockey game?
Do you mean
If you
do you
don't
mean
know-
the let me think about it for a sec. The quintuple, that's the word for it. The quintuple overtime hockey game.
Is that a real thing? Is
Is that for real?
That's
Okay.
after quadruple. Yeah, so last
Wasn't
night
sure.
last night, which for the viewers won't be last night, but last night there was a hockey game between I think it's Columbus and Tampa, and they're playing in Toronto because all of the East Coast games are being played in the Toronto bubble, and their game started at 3:09 in the afternoon, and it went to 5 overtimes,
No.
which meant that the game didn't end until like almost 9:30.
Yeah, that's insane.
There was a game that was supposed to start at 8 o'clock on that rink between Boston and Carolina, the Hurricanes. And
It's the price of having a bubble, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're sharing.
so like that game got rescheduled to this morning. It was at like 11.
That's crazy.
And yeah, they
It's gotta be a weird feeling as a professional athlete,
overtimes.
right? There's gotta be a weird feeling as a professional athlete, like when you're just, it's football Sunday and you're getting ready to come out, and then
And then you
hey, your
pass
game's gonna be tomorrow morning
Yeah.
on Monday because
Yeah.
it's not
Because that game went for
Yeah.
6.5 hours.
yeah, it's
They
insane.
played 3 games
essentially
that night.
Yeah, they did.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking hockey.
It's fucking ridiculous. And
That's
then
all I'm talking about.
the fucking Boston game that was rescheduled to this morning went to double overtime. They had 7 overtime periods within like I don't know, a little over 12 hours.
Right.
It's too ridiculous.
Is ridiculous. Fuck Boston.
Yeah, fuck Boston. That's pretty much it.
Says the Sabres fan whose team didn't even make it to the.
Wasn't the mock draft yesterday or today or something like that?
Well, the second part of the draft was yesterday. So like they had their hockey's got that same ridiculous lottery system that basketball has.
Yes.
And they had done
Where the same team usually picks.
yeah. So they had done the first part of the lottery system, which only applied to the teams that were not in the restart.
Correct.
So like the teams that didn't make the playoffs for this year, even though the first round wasn't called the playoffs.
Yeah.
So those
correct.
teams, like they had the lottery for those teams, and just so happened that the ball that was picked corresponded to this goes to not one of those teams. So all the teams that didn't make the cutoff, they didn't get the fucking first round pick. Or sorry, the first overall pick. And that was held yesterday, and the goddamn New York Rangers, who made it to the playoffs, magically have the first overall pick. Because hockey likes the fucking New York Rangers.
That's why I saw 3 or 4 people on Facebook like, fuck the Rangers.
Well,
That was literally their only, that's all they wrote.
They were probably fucking Islander fans, but yeah.
Probably. Still funny.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I don't know enough
Fuck the
about hockey, but
Rangers.
it's funny that you see that. But Adrian, so we took a wild detour there.
I like detours, man. They're fun.
So give us this before we wrap things up. Give us any promos, any promotions or anything, or maybe
For Gold Coast Wildlife.
maybe anything. If you let the listeners and the viewers hear, a little bit about what you can do in a nutshell. It's like a little trailer.
Yeah, man. I mean, absolutely. I mean,
Anything exciting coming up in the future? Maybe projects.
I mean, we're working on growing our apiary right now. I actually just finished installing 10 colonies over at Zoo Miami.
Oh, dope.
So it's on the little.
I was
we're-
kind of recently just there.
Nice.
We're working on a couple
I haven't
things
been there
over
since
there.
Metro Zoo.
Oh, it's beautiful over there, man. I
But
get to
it's-
go over there. I have bees all the way in the back. And
I hadn't thought about it until just this moment, but like you guys presumably sell honey.
We're working towards there. We do very small honey production right now, but
Okay.
we are working towards getting.
I mean, if you extract bees from wherever, I don't know, Comcast is like, yo, we got bees here.
yeah, man.
That was a really weird.
I mean, he's not here to fuck bees.
But I mean, you're like, oh, yo, fucking drop this cable bill, son, and I'll take these bees out.
I wish. I mean, we do removals for FPL and everything, man. So
Yeah, well, because they deal with a lot of
those
structures and things, right? Where bees probably.
Well, were those?
Well, there's not going to be people there unless it's the tech or the technician or something
Exactly,
that comes
man.
there.
Like,
So bees are like, this is a safe spot.
well, bees will find any hole where they can get into and start building a colony, right? Oh man.
Phrasing. So you're saying for bees, any hole is their goal.
cover your holes.
Yeah.
This is what I deal with, guys.
Protect your cornhole, dude.
Yeah, man. But they'll go ahead and they'll start building a colony where, power starts going into the houses where those power lines come in, those big like receivers. You get bees that go inside of the electrical cable poles, like the big FPL poles.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Once they
because nothing goes in there.
Nothing goes in there, man. So those little
bees.
exactly. So those little portholes, bees move right in, and those linemen will go up and start working on it, and all of a sudden they'll get nailed.
They're 20 feet in the air. They're like,
you don't just come down fast either.
No, dude, those things go down real slow. Trust me.
God.
So I've been in a few of them.
Here I am thinking they get paid a lot because like it's high as fuck and they can fall and
nah,
die. But
it's
like,
because bees.
mad bees,
Mad bees.
mad bees, son.
It's crazy,
right?
up there.
Fucking
Bees.
You want to be an electrician? You want to be somebody who fucking
Oh man.
gets paid a shit ton of money? I mean, the hazard pay on there got to be.
I'll tell you one I did.
So watch out for bees.
When they were redoing the Hard Rock Stadium here, and they were putting the
Guitar Hotel?
Yeah, no, the stadium.
Oh, the stadium.
The Hard Rock Stadium.
Dolphin Stadium, yeah.
When they were installing the metal roof, I got a call for some bees that were up at the top of the bowl, and the only way for you to get up there was the same lift that they used to get the welders up to the roof. So it was
like on top of the white thing.
It was a 175-foot man lift on the top of the spiral bowl. Like
those fucking bees could stay there.
Nah, dude, that shit was out of control, dude.
Why? Who needs what?
They were on the back of the bowl where the welders were going up and down.
Yeah, and they can't
and
do it
being
'cause they're
loaded,
bees.
and they're
The bowl.
The top of the as the bowl rises, you have that edge of the bowl. That would be like the top of the stadium, and then behind that would be the lights that
It's
hang
like
over.
the other side of like the seating.
On the other side of the seating, exactly.
There are
at
bees
the
there.
very, very top, like that nosebleed section.
Okay,
And then where
yeah.
they put those columns to support that roof that they were putting up is where they were loading the welders up to go up and down and weld the roof.
And they couldn't have had you just like put a regular ladder where the nosebleeds are. You had to go all the way
man,
up.
they went on the other side of the
There's
back.
no.
And it's like a solid like 3
Can
to
you
4
imagine-
foot like concrete wall up there.
Like
Like you
the-
can't just reach over it, and you wouldn't catch
Whoever's like the department head for the state. I don't know fucking the logistics, but it's like yo, fuck, get somebody stat. Find a bee guy. Find Ace Ventura. Find somebody.
Get
what I
the
felt.
fucking bearded
Fucking get a
beekeeper
man
up here right
get
now.
the man to get because we got a bee problem.
We got bees.
He's like, what do you mean you got fucking bees? He's like, we got bees. I was like,
Who you
all
gonna
right,
call?
well, are
The
the
bearded
bees like?
beekeeper.
Where are the bees? They're like, oh, they're on the outer bowl.
When they brought me up there, they're like, "All right, put on your, your
You have like a harness?
I was like, "What? What do you mean?
Oh,
put on my
you
harness?"
had to hang.
Dude, I was 175 feet up in
gotta
the
get- we
air
gotta
on the
get-
top
play
of the
some of those
stadium.
pictures.
And
no,
we've-
man,
We've already established that you don't like ladders.
fully suited up, like
You didn't even like pull out your phone. Like,
nothing. Dude, there's no way, not a chance in hell, dude. Like, I mean, I was
No,
like,
he dropped his
dude,
phone
I
and
get
then it's
shaky.
destroyed.
I get shaky at like 2 stories. Imagine
Yeah.
being at the top of a stadium. I was like crapping my pants.
You already said earlier
Yeah.
that you don't like being on top of
Can
a
you
20-foot
imagine?
ladder.
I was
like-
wearing jeans that day. I'm sure they were brown.
They were the
Like-
brown pants.
He's
brown
like-
pants for sure.
oh yeah. I hate to break it to you guys, but you're gonna have to call somebody else. Because
For real, man.
this isn't.
Yeah.
I can't do this today.
But it was
or
cool,
ever.
man. It was cool to see the stadium under construction and stuff.
Sure.
Growing up so close
Yeah,
to it, it was nice to
To
be
be
in
fair,
there.
you could have just like driven up University. And
Well, yeah, it's true.
So any promos, anything you want to shout out?
I mean, if you have any bees,
Just give us a
in
little.
your
Give
house,
us a little.
man.
Give the listeners a little bit. Of,
So, if you're interested in getting in contact with me, and you need bee removal, wildlife removal on any platform, you could find me.
6-foot raccoons.
Yeah, dude, 6-foot raccoons, whatever. I mean, we do all sorts of stuff, man.
You need the Tremors elephant gun for that
Yeah.
6-foot raccoon.
That's like my
Yeah.
favorite.
I
That Kevin
assume
Bacon elephant gun.
I assume the
If you
raccoon
don't
is
know
going
what
to
that
take that
is,
elephant
if you don't
gun.
know what Tremors is, I'm
Then
probably
go-
just old as shit.
No, just go watch
we
Tremors.
can't be
It's
friends if you don't
classic.
know what Tremors
Yeah.
is.
I mean, I don't. Our age.
Yeah. I mean, I just,
don't know.
like, I know for me, I would have just, like, immediately called animal control. So what you're saying is instead, don't call animal control.
I'm the
call-
asshole that's like, yo, 911. There's a
Yeah.
fucking 6-foot
Yeah.
raccoon here.
Yeah, for
So-
real, dude. But I don't know, man.
non-emergency.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call it non-emergency.
Yeah.
This is a fucking emergency.
I don't even know if animal control comes out as often as or like as.
I don't think they do. Like,
if you call them,
who picks up the roadkill? I asked you that earlier, but it's like a real thing because
I think just like cleaning crews,
People?
like I don't know,
Or
man.
people that want to cook it.
I've heard stories, dude.
what?
I swear
We're
to
in
God.
Davie, motherfucker.
People that want to cook a roadkill.
I'm not even
We're
kidding.
in Davie.
That's the thing?
That's for real a thing.
Yeah, man.
I see. Okay.
You know
I'm
Orange
not-
Drive?
I'm not like saying it's not true. I just
It is.
have a hard time
I had a hard time believing it too,
believing
man.
that too.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm
Until
hearing
he's
that.
seen it.
No, I mean I won't. No.
When I used to do security for this neighborhood, it was like an apartment, condominium, gated condominium. I worked the gate. It was like right after I got out of the army, and I just did a little gig, whatever. And I would do the morning. I would get there like 6:30, relieve the overnight guy, and then do like a first rotation in the golf cart, like around the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So imagine a bunch of apartment buildings in like a giant oval, lined up in a giant oval, and what would essentially be the backyard, it's like the inside. It was kind of like the front yard.
Yeah.
So everyone had like the first level all had screen patios, and you had this one neighborhood, this one lady in the neighborhood, who I never saw, only knew the name because of the listing. She did the Santa Maria thing, right? So if you don't know what Santa Maria is,
Santeria.
Do you mean Santeria?
Oh, Santeria. Sorry, I said
Santeria.
Santa Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Santa Maria would be
That's,
Saint Mary.
So excuse me.
Santeria
That would be
be-
like a boat from Columbus.
Yeah. I don't
Sorry,
practice
I fucked that
Santeria.
up. I fucked it up.
I don't
Whatever.
got So like they were literally slitting the throats of goats.
The
Yeah,
the ducks.
Ducks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Blood sacrifice.
oh yeah, and it's not like whatever they were doing. I don't think it was like, oh, we're just like hacking to cook. I think it was like because there was like pieces everywhere.
Oh,
And there was, like-
ceremonial, man.
And there was like fucking blood, like shit on the floor. Like you can see it, and it's like bright. It's like daylight, so you can see everything, And so anyway, that shit used to freak me out. I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I?
Are you suggesting
like,
you should have called Gold Coast Wildlife at that point? Because that's fucked up.
I don't know, man. This Cuban doesn't
This
remove
is what we're
Santeria.
giving-
I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
This is what we're
absolutely
giving
not.
the people. We're
Absolutely
giving them a chance, an opportunity
I don't
to
need
be
that
like,
shit.
I know a guy now, thanks
Yeah.
to Grip the Grain podcast.
There you go.
I know about fucking bees, 6-foot raccoons.
Don't fuck
and
bees.
That's it. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah, man. You can find me at Bearded Beekeeper. You can find my company page at Gold Coast Wild. We also have Facebook, The Bearded Beekeeper, and Gold Coast Wildlife.
Sweet. Show my man some love.
Yeah, man.
Follow him. Call him. Use him.
Get him to remove your bees.
Yeah,
Because we
absolutely.
do need bees.
We
Are
do.
you allowed
We
to
do.
like take the honey like after you strangle?
We do. So occasionally when we remove colonies, every once in a while, there's a little bit of honey like inside, especially if the colony's been there for a
Yeah.
while.
Sure.
For you to wet your beak with.
Well, what we do is we remove that, and I normally tell the homeowner or property owner to come out with a little, little Gladware Tupperware container or something like
To
that.
give them some of their own honey.
Exactly, man. It gives you like an idea.
That's really good. That's a good touch,
It's
bro.
nice, man.
It's a good touch.
It gives people the
Sure.
opportunity to taste what
Because honey's fucking expensive.
Oh man, it is, dude. And when you get to taste what you actually get to produce in your own yard, it's
I mean,
like,
there's nothing more local than the
Yeah,
local
man.
honey from your attic.
exactly,
I mean, like,
man.
I fuck with like my Popeyes honey for my biscuits, but like,
Oh, boy.
when you use like real good ass honey,
Oh, no,
I
it's-
don't know what the fuck real good ass honey is, but I felt
Yeah, I
really
mean,
good saying it.
Gold Coast
But when you have
Wildlife
like
honey.
real, like from the stock honey, it's
Mm-hmm.
really good.
I got to bring you guys some different.
Yeah,
we'll do
man.
like
Oh,
a,
you
a
bet. Oh,
flavor,
hell yeah.
grades.
a flavor
Hell yeah.
sampling
Yeah.
one of these days, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So-
Wildflower honey versus orange blossom honey.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We do. I entered a honey in 2017 into a blind taste test, and I took first place at a 26 entrance. I
Dude,
think.
that's
Nice.
fantastic. Dude.
So it was like some black stuff, man. It was real dark.
Nice.
So it's nice, man. I really enjoy what I do, especially.
Yeah.
you know.
Excellent.
I know you said that you don't have the production up a whole lot yet, but do you have a brand name for the honey?
Bearded Beekeeper is eventually what we're going to brand
Okay.
under. Gold Coast Wildlife is more like my wildlife removal
Yeah,
company.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's a solid branding. I like it, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
we live in the Gold Coast, We
do.
got Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. That's that's collectively known as the Gold Coast, and that's my range. Don't get me wrong, I go to Monroe and stuff because I like the Keys and all. But
I mean, who doesn't?
I operate for the most part, between West Palm Beach and Dade.
Yeah.
So Gold Coast wildlife seems to fit.
That's excellent.
So in the future, I should look out for Bearded Beekeeper honey.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Or we do have some stuff ready to go, and we will hopefully be jarring pretty soon.
In what stores?
No stores. We're going to be
just
doing
online.
No, from home. So we're doing here in Florida. In order to operate as in honey sales, you can operate before you go into the stores. You can operate as what's known as Florida Cottage Food Law, which is where you're selling less than $15,000 in goods. You go ahead and you can operate without having to report.
Nice.
But beyond that, it does require like an actually certified Department of Agriculture kitchen.
Okay.
So you're have proof that you're producing honey for the masses.
For sure.
Not that we ever would do anything not clean, but you gotta produce a good product.
It's that X and only bee honey.
Right.
It's that backdoor entry honey.
Yeah. So if I wanted to buy honey tomorrow,
you just call me, man.
Call you. Okay.
Make it happen.
We're on that like
No, I
brother system,
know.
right?
I was trying to plug,
Yeah, I mean,
Call, man.
people are gonna hit him up.
Give me a shot, man. You want to go? You follow the bees and follow all the goods. You'll see, man.
Absolutely.
Feel like it's cool. I got a bee guy.
You know when the honey flow hits, man.
You can never have too many like a guy.
I'm telling you.
That's
never
what I'm
have too
saying.
many of those. Like it's because
When I need honey.
oddly enough, everyone that I know that does something, whether it's their business or a skill trade or whatever, I've recommended them. Like it's weird. Like I probably have listeners that owns a business or does something. It could be like party rentals, mechanic, whatever. I've recommended somebody to someone. Like it's the beauty of staying connected and networking. Like it's really
this age of social media, man. Like
for sure.
Literally, people are a click away.
Yeah. Well, Adrian, it was a pleasure, man. I really hope everyone, viewers, I really hope you guys take in, this information, soak it in. You have a guy now.
You
got a
do.
plug.
You have a bee guy
You got a
now.
beer plug.
Yeah.
A beer plug. A bee plug.
Bee plug. Go home, John. You're drunk.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for our
Seriously,
very
this
first
is a lot of fun.
video episode.
A lot of fun. This is history, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having
fucking
me.
cheers to that shit.
I'm honored to be, on Grip the Grain here.
A lot of
right.
fun, man. A lot of love, and I think people are gonna really like it. It's wholesome. It's important. It's necessary. We want to definitely stay eco-conscious and
So like, maybe this makes it in the cut, maybe it doesn't, because we already did the goodbye stuff. Are there any pesticides or anything that people should avoid using in their homes because it'll fuck up bees?
I strongly recommend people to read instruction labels. I know it sounds so ridiculous.
I mean,
that's why they're there.
But that's why they're there.
In my profession, it's
I'm getting
there's
better
an
with
acronym.
reading shit.
You got to, man.
There's an acronym for it. It's RTFM. Read the fucking manual.
Yeah, man. It's fucking serious, man.
People don't.
The number one leading cause of improper pesticide application is the homeowner.
Yeah.
And
it's usually what's funny? It's probably user error for
It's always
everything.
user error.
when I treat a house, I mean, I do pest control. I've treated for roaches and all sorts of that stuff. When I ask these people what they've applied on their homes, it's frightening.
Aquanet and a lighter.
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I've gotten calls to
Aquanet
houses
is
for people who've
really popular
literally damn
hairspray.
near burnt down their house because something in it.
I'm burning
Because of that.
If I see,
I mean, if I have a 6-foot raccoon,
I can tell you what I used to do. I grew up in the hood. I had roaches, and guess what? I fucking took a lighter and some Aquanet hairspray
kill it with fire.
with that max hold strength, and just blasted, literally torched my entire blanket. Because it was on the wall, and I fucking fell, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
My dad beat the shit out of me. He didn't beat the shit out of me. I got to spank him. He beat the shit out of me.
See,
Whatever, bro. I got my ass beat.
We grew up in the age of ass beating.
Got my ass
We
beat.
did. We did. But so like DDT Roundup, does that kill bees?
It can. It will.
Bro, I thought you meant
contaminate-
like DDT, like the wrestling
Diamond
move.
Dallas
Yeah, no, I know.
I was like,
No, I mean
who the fuck's DDT and bees,
fucking
bro?
DEET. Fucking DEET.
Yeah, man.
DEET. That shit. That's the stuff we sprayed at for your birthday.
I
when we were
know,
outside,
that's
right?
why I'm asking, motherfucker.
So
That made my skin burn.
I mean, it can hurt you, man.
I got that good skin.
It'll mess you up, dude. It'll mess you up. I mean,
It worked.
I
but
just
does it
recommend
mess up bees?
certain things can. Like, I definitely don't recommend spraying your yard with Roundup because you don't want a couple of weeds. You know, like
Sure.
go out there and go pick them, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I've used Roundup and I use it only on poison ivy.
I mean, fuck poison ivy.
And that's it. Like,
Spoiler alert,
I buy
I'm allergic to
specific,
it.
to that strain of chemical for poison ivy, and that's the
Yeah.
only time I use a pesticide that's not like, for a job.
Yeah.
For example.
Black folks don't fuck with wildlife.
Yeah, man. Like, and it's
You don't see too many like black, Cub Scouts and fucking,
Yeah.
you don't, because like just it's funny, but it's like niggas don't fuck with wildlife, the ocean. Shit
Yeah.
that is just like we have no business saying I got this,
let the
Not to
Cuban
say
deal with
like
it.
like we
Basically.
need our bearded beekeepers and our Steve Irwins, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Thank you, bro. I feel honored to even be put in the same sentence.
For sure, man. But we're gonna wrap up. Thank you so much, dude,
Thank
for
you, guys.
being here.
Yep.
For fucking tying this first episode, this video episode. Shout out, gang. This has been great. Like we definitely want to stay connected. We want you to come back, and we need some of that good ass honey
I'd be happy to, man.
for that tea, and just whatever the fuck you put honey on toast. I don't know.
I love it, bro. We'll do like a charcuterie board with me.
Fucking love charcuterie.
Goddamn right.
I love charcuterie.
Don't tempt me.
I just learned that word. Like I knew what charcuterie was, but I just like learned the word like 6 months ago, like a few
know.
months ago. I've been using it like fuck, so like we had this like badass charcuterie setup.
Nice.
People are like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like I was like, "No, I just learned the word. Let me use it, motherfucker." Like,
I know. When I was little, I would have called it just cheese and crackers and sausage.
but it's like,
But
really
there's a word
nice,
for it
like meat spread.
that we stole from French.
I said meat spread.
I know you did, motherfucker. You love yourself a nice meat spread.
I was a butcher for years, bro. So
Go fuck. And with that,
We out.
yeah.
we out this bitch. Thank you, everybody. Love you. Please like, share, subscribe. Talk to us in the comments. We're here to learn. We're here to listen to you. We're here to get better. We're here to talk to you.
And check out the Bearded Beekeeper.
Check out the Bearded Beekeeper. Support the man's hustle. Support what he does. And we will fucking tie this knot and be stronger together as a community, as brothers and sisters.
Goddamn right.
And
Love it.
that's love, baby. And Buffalo Trace Distillery, if you see this, James and I
You are our
very,
favorite. You are our
very
favorite.
big fans of.
I was gonna try not to do like overt.
Yo, fuck that
Statement
noise,
of it?
man. We spend the money on it,
It's true.
and we love it.
You
And
are our favorite.
honestly, out of all the bourbons, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's topping Blanton's and Weller.
Yeah,
Yamazaki's fucking really good.
they're not a bourbon.
It's not a bourbon.
They're
It's a Japanese whiskey.
Japanese
drinks like
whiskey
a scotch.
which drinks like a scotch.
I understand that, but I'm just telling you as far as
Yeah.
what is my favorite.
I know. I was. Not all the listeners know.
This is true. You got to be made in a very specific location for it to be called scotch.
Right. So another question that's not probably gonna make it in because it's
fine,
way
man.
too late.
That's cool, man.
Do you fuck with mead?
I do.
Have you ever considered making mead?
I've made mead a couple times.
I love you.
Yeah, man. I really.
Do you still make mead?
I'm trying to get into making another batch.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about one of the guys I work with or anything, but I do work with a gentleman who we provide honey to a couple of breweries, and one of the breweries is Beat Culture.
Okay.
Down in Miami.
Yeah.
The gentleman's name is Nick Bofill. He's the native guy. Is
Bumper
his
sticker from them or something.
but I'm the one who I help manage a lot of mixed beehives and things.
Yeah. Do they
So-
make mead at that
and they-
brewery?
And they make meat at that brewery.
Nice. Because mead's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
fantastic.
delicious.
It's
I
fantastic.
made him drink it once, and he hasn't stopped yelling at me since.
Because it's fucking disgusting.
It's too sweet. It's too sweet, man. I don't,
is.
I
I'm
didn't
not a
even
big
get.
fan.
I didn't even get that.
Theoretically, it's possible to make like a dry mead. So I lived in Pittsburgh for a while, and they happened to have an apiary that also was like there's
Meadery.
probably a word meadery. Thank you. And they made like an entire like wide selection of meads, and they had like the sweet mead that tastes more or less like what you pick up at Total Wine, like Chaucer's or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they had some dry meads which were more akin to like a dry white wine that isn't made with grapes, it's made with honey.
Correct.
And they had like some mixed things too, where they like threw cherries or whatever into it.
I love those
But-
fruity ones, like
Yeah.
the berry ones.
Yeah.
Like I really like. This has been a great experience sitting down and actually enjoying this because like I hate. I said like I hang out at home with my wife, so for me to sit down and drink whiskey all night, I feel like
Yeah.
like it's the
Oh,
fucking
hell yeah,
like it's
dude.
the 20s and shit.
Right?
Like get the fuck out of here. Like
If only we could smoke cigars,
I love cigars, man.
but we're indoors.
Yeah.
But
When we get our own studio, trust me, it's gonna happen.
oh man,
You can do whatever the fuck you
gotta
want
have
in there.
gotta. I'll come back, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyways,
thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, dude.
Literally, this has been exceeding expectations. I think people are really gonna enjoy this. So
I'm glad.
thank
man.
you so much for
Thank
doing
I
this.
learned a shitload about this.
awesome.
We are done. We are out.
We are.
Shout out. See you guys, listeners, on the next episode. Stay tuned. One love. Hands on the wheel.